Another guy that made a jump would be his teammate and the guy that gets him the football, Peyton Bender. When we talk about quarterbacks down here, first names off the list are Treon Harris and Winky Flowers and Sean White, but a guy that you've been really talking up throughout the spring, and the work that he put in and what you watched really justifies him moving up about 20 spots. Just to right outside the top 30 at 31 would be Peyton Bender, who clearly has a big fan and a quarterback guru in Mike Leach as he is committed to Washington State.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of factors here. First of all, we had an opportunity to watch him since he was in 9th grade and saw him grow up. Always had very good technique, very good form. Just need to grow up. You need to get stronger, need to get a little bit bigger. I'll make no bones about this. There are some tremendous quarterbacks, but there were no quarterbacks, and I love Sean White and I love everybody that did as much and made as many quality throws in a football game as we saw Peyton do in the scrimmage down against South Dade, a very good team, and to the point where all the coaches from Miami-Dade County were coming up to me and asking, who was that guy? I mean, this kid is big, and he was, and you could tell, he just grew up in a big way over 4 or 5 months. And you have to remember, and this doesn't qualify it, but this will tell you what type of quarterback you get. Washington State has a chance, as far as I do, is they get all those California kids. They have all those West Coast kids, Trent Dilfer and his West Coast bias of all those great kids up and down to Arizona. And
well, if Mike Leach is making that call for the offense he runs, and he taps you.
So enough said.
Don't need Larry Bluestein to sign off on that.
No, you don't need me to sign off on that, but that's the one thing, that's another factor that you have to look at, and if somebody like that believes in him, and I take nothing away from the quarterbacks we rank, and then certainly we have great ones.
Absolutely. All right, now 2 kids that jumped 20 spots from your initial release, again, back really on signing day, which took into account their 2012 season. Now into your pre-summer release here in the middle of 2013 after spring ball. One would be Michael Johnson at Champagnat, who moved into the top 30. And Otis Grimes, who moved to the bottom of the list in the 70s into right about the top 50.
Yeah, 2 other kids that really did a lot to help themselves. I mean, I use what they do, Josh, on the football field as a basis. Okay, then when they go to the next thing, which is a 7-on-7s, it shows a lot of athleticism. Both of them showed incredible athleticism. Then we got into spring and watched them during the spring. Neither of them really did anything other than tell me, hey, they belong. They're top tier kids, and that's you know me now. I mean, but this is what I've always been about. I mean, maybe at the beginning I may rate a couple of kids like Gilbert Johnson's a perfect example. Here's a kid that by all rights could be a top 50, top 75 player. I need to watch him more. I need to watch him more do it in games. And I had a talk with Coach Lamont Green, who's, he obviously pushes his kid, and he has a right to. The kid, talent-wise, I just, like in the Trayvon Lee thing, I want to see more. And we'll get a chance to see a lot more during the summer, and when we rank, I think it'll reflect.
All right, so there we go. 5 kids that made the biggest jumps here in Larry Bluestein's pre-summer top 75. If you have not seen the list yet, it is up on the site in our main position, so be sure to check it out. We'll have another list for you at the end of the summer before the season as we continue to gallivant throughout the state.
2015 coming up, too. We have a 2015 in the next week or so. We'll start the summer off with that. So,
love it.
All right. I know you do.
Of course, for Larry Bluestein, I'm Josh Darrow, Auto Nation Grid1 Report here on SouthFloridaHighSchoolSports.com.